6:32.
6:32. Pat, could you please take the roll?
Matt's here, Gron's here, Hutton's here, Gallup's, Polish is not, Split, and Reimer, and we're waiting for Joe.
Okay,
So we have a quorum.
thank you. We need a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Motion by Billy, second by Dave to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of past minutes. And I think we've got
Two of
two of
them.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
One is for March,
Yep.
and I was not here in March, so I can't vote on that one.
Did they spell your name right? Well, then you can vote on it.
I see I was supposed to do something with you, Matt, and I didn't from our meeting minutes from March, so I apologize. We'll make an appointment.
Sure.
Did you want to do them both at once or separately?
We'll just do them separately, I guess.
I make a motion to approve February meetings as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion by Pat, second by Billy to approve February 1st meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve March minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dave, second by Steve to approve the March 1st meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then we have financial report, acceptance of that should be in there.
Somewhere here.
Yep, that's on the back. Yeah.
They didn't take out for the
Not yet,
plaque.
Well,
as far as I know, they did not.
That didn't show on the balance.
Mhm.
I make a motion we accept.
I'll second.
Motion by Billy, second by Steve to accept the financial report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments.
somebody's walking through the door, maybe that's Joe.
That's Joe.
Yep. Okay.
I started taking minutes for you, so I'll give them to you later, and you can pick up from where we are, how's that?
Thanks.
I'll let you get settled in.
Undressed. Yeah.
That could be pretty risque.
Well, I didn't know nobody seconded it.
I got so much crap here.
No public.
Yeah, there was no public comments. We're down to certificate of appropriateness, Joe.
Number 7.
Number 7. You tell me when you're ready.
Oh, yeah, you guys can go.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
I got my pen ready.
We have one application for 230 Watson Street, which is
It is.
Canute, the old American house. And it is for, if I'm reading the certificate here, or the application, exterior exit stairs on north face of building, second floor to grade. So that would be on the right side of the building into that.
What's that down as a patio area?
It's a patio area, and it looks like it's walled in there, and then it drops down to an open street level garden area.
Then there'll be a patio down there, and he'll have his barrels up again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long call.
Now, did we already approve the changes to the front with the sign?
Not the sign,
Okay.
No.
I guess that's just a preliminary sign in the front.
correct, that must just be with the architectural drawing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he did the only exterior change is the stairs and the landing up there, which is gonna be.
That's what's on the application, is
Seventh
the
floor grade.
exterior stairs. If I look at the drawings, there's a little, what do they call those, Juliet balcony thing, the
Yep.
the grate across the front, but that's not on the application, so that'll come later.
Yep, so all we're voting on Now was that, I'll make a motion to approve the changes to that side of the stairs and landing.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Dave, second by Joe to approve the exterior exit stairs on the north face of the building at 230 Watson Street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So, get rid of this. That was the only one we had. I'll call Sue Leahy, let her know it passed. We've had this on for a couple of meetings, but review the design guidelines and grant application from the state. And that
So
was
we
passed.
did not get accepted for the grant. However, if you looked at who received grant money, it was, a lot of it was like our application, but we don't have enough points, I believe, to get the grant awarded. So over the next year, I think we should reapply, use the exact same wording, the exact same everything, reapply next year, but up our points. Now, how we do that is we have to attend seminars, webinars, and those kind of things. So I just attended the Preservation Planning, Developing Your Vision, Goals, and Priorities for from the National Alliance of Preservation Commissions. So John had called me about that, I attended. I am attending the state conference on April 21st, so that'll give us more points. And I suggest, and if anybody else wants to come along, but I will be paying for my own, but I think we should pay for Joe to attend this Wisconsin State Historical Society Conference in October.
Okay.
That's
So-
not a bad idea because they usually run simultaneous meetings.
Right,
Okay.
right. I just figured Joe's one of the younger ones. Man, I don't know if you want to go, but the more people, it can't just be my name on everything. We have to have more education for the group as a whole.
But that makes sense, the point that would be, they could look at that.
Right, so then we can say, we've done this, we've done that, we've done that. This is how we've basically educated our board. These people have attended, we brought it back to, given the report to our commission, and that ups our points for a grant. So what we'd have to do is, I would just have to go back to the people that gave us a letter of intent before to do the work, get a new letter of intent, and just reapply for the grant next year. And so I'm depending on Adam to get us the deadline when that grant comes through again. But I want to attend the state conference this year, and I've already talked to Joe. And we could just drive up together and
Okay.
attend the
I
two-day
think
state
we've
conference.
paid for that in the past,
Mhm.
so I don't think
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be a problem.
It's not that much
Adam
money.
says no, it's not a problem.
It's
Okay.
not even out yet because it's October.
Okay,
So I mean, we don't even have to worry about it yet.
okay.
But I don't know if anybody else wants to attend, but Joe and I have talked about just going up.
Okay.
That's
And
the one
then-
in Marshfield, right?
No, the one in Marshfield is the one I'm attending on the 21st of April.
Okay.
That's the state Society of Preservation Commissions or whatever, but I'm talking about the Wisconsin State Historical Society Convention, and they have separate meetings for historic preservation commissions at that.
Is that in Madison or is it in
No, I
lacrosse?
think we were lacrosse this year?
I thought it was, I saw something for lacrosse.
Yeah, they switch it every year to a new location.
Is there a list of these as far as things that we could go to, that you could get to us? How do we-
Well, we're already members of the state, and so you got a newsletter by email, if you could email. Because
And we
we are
can-
now a member of the state association, so we all should be on that email chain.
Of course, you don't recall getting it.
Yeah, we could print one out for you the next time it comes through, because that's where I heard about the one on the 21st in
Okay.
Marshfield.
Oh.
It was in the newsletter.
Okay. I'll-
Right, and I think
Let me
it's like a
look into
whole 25 bucks to attend. I mean,
Yeah.
they look to you, so I just signed up, and I've got a funeral up there the next day anyway, so I'm gonna stay overnight in Marshfield
Oh.
and then go to the funeral in Wausau the next day, so. It's not, puts me in the area where I need to be anyway, but,
Mhm.
so,
If you'd like to know where they all are and go from there, I'll look
Yeah.
that up and see.
Yeah, so the next big one would be the state convention in October.
Okay.
But I think Adam, if you hear, or like if you hear, John, maybe you can just shoot everybody, like there's a
Sure.
webinar coming up about the subject, or if I hear about it, I'll email everybody.
Okay.
Because a webinar, you can just sit in front of your computer and watch.
That's no fun.
No,
I
I know,
have
it's
to-
no fun.
I have to contact the state because Steve Hollenbeck he gets contacted.
Oh.
He contacts me, and when I got that day, that's when I contacted
Yeah.
you right away, because I thought I better not let this go, because I'll
Right.
forget, so.
Well, there's
I get
another
them
one.
too.
Do you, okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
From a
But I
long
don't-
time ago.
Yeah.
Well, I was chairman for one.
They're doing number 2 of this seminar that I listened to, but that's at the same time as the conference I'm going to on the 21st, so I can't
Okay.
do both, so
Right.
I'd rather go to in person. Now, Jason Tisch, who is the person that reviews our grant application, I said, oh, Jason, I'll see you in Marshfield on the 21st, when I emailed him, thank you for this. He goes, oh, no, I'm gonna be attending via Zoom, so I won't see you then. So at least he knows we're going.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that's why if we go to the state convention in October, that will give us a chance to shake hands with him and, oh, I'm from the Ripon Historic Preservation Commission.
Definitely.
That
Okay.
kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I'll put that on for next month's agenda, that we approve the money for Joe to go. And-
But we don't even know what that is yet,
But
so.
as long as we do it, then we can.
Ones that don't go over 9,000, 8,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at
How much you
least-
guys need, yeah?
Wouldn't
At
be a
least-
wild weekend.
We need to tick up our points to get a grant. So
Yeah.
it looks like if we can tick up our points and attend webinars and seminars,
Yeah,
that when
we
we
do that.
apply for the grant, it's
Mhm.
not outside the boundary of us being awarded the grant, so.
And you might even rub shoulders to somebody that knows a little bit more about the point system,
Yeah, I'm gonna talk
because we
to
don't know.
this Jason Tisch when I get there, because he's the one that's in charge of overseeing the grants and the points. And he had said before, you don't have a lot of points, so, well,
Right. We need to get better educated anyway. Do it
yeah,
good.
so.
Good.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it.
So it's, yeah, so big deal. So I'll go to the state one, and I got a certificate of attending. Woo-hoo. This is a certificate that I attended the webinar, and so we can always attach this to the grant if we
Yeah,
need
proof, yeah.
proof, but I don't think we're gonna need proof, but,
Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll keep records of all this and go from there.
yeah, so,
All right.
you know, and if anybody else wants to go in October, you know, maybe even you and Travis wanna come up to even one day or 2 days. See, they have all kinds of different classes you can sign up for, but they do have a meeting for preservation commissions,
Okay.
so.
Usually they have a tour of some historic home or a building or
Yeah,
something.
Right,
So, because I used to do that a lot, or also go to like in Green, whatever it was, where not Hawks the other stagecoach place.
oh, yeah, that
Oh,
Carol and I.
Greenbush or,
Greenbush.
is it Greenbush? Yeah.
Yeah, Greenbush Wade House.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they would have
okay.
Wade House, Swanson, and
Carol and I
they did
attended that one.
Louisville up and whatever.
Yeah,
So-
Carol and I went to the one that you could get into Wade House for free if you like attended the conference and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, so every year they do that in Octoberish.
Yeah, and it's like a 2.5 day conference, you know, we don't have to go the full time, but as long as we attend that meeting of the preservation meeting,
Yeah.
and I think the whole point is just making sure we introduce ourselves to this Jason Tisch, so he, you know, realizes we're
Recognizes the name,
physically there
yeah.
in well, he knows who I am,
Yeah.
I've emailed him enough, but to physically say I'm
Put
at these
faces to
things.
them, yeah. It'll do
Yeah,
good.
yeah, so, I've attended in the past, it's very interesting. Then COVID hit and they put everything
Oh,
up
yeah.
online, and now it's back in person, so I'll use that story. My son, he calls all the time,
Okay, well, thank you for doing that, Pat.
yeah.
Next would be grants for historic district street signs.
We haven't done anything on that, Matt and I are supposed to get
Okay.
together and I forgot, so. Matt,
Easy enough,
if-
we'll go on to the next.
If I don't talk
I'll
to
leave
you,
it on.
you just catch me.
Okay.
I'll leave it on for next month.
And, oh, I've got the one about the plaques, which is not on the agenda.
Okay. You're in trouble.
Does everybody have one? Matt, can you share? I don't think I have enough. Okay, we finally have a new price for the plaque program. And I've gotten a response on here. We said that we would put up signs for St. Peter's, First Congo, American Legion, Hillside Cemetery, Pedrick Lawson House, and possibly the Ripon College District. I have got responses from St. Peter's, First Congregational, and the American Legion, and they have signed off on a form that they want a plaque.
Good.
Okay, so they have formally responded to us from a letter I sent to them. I've not heard from Ripon College, and so these are the nonprofit. This is what you've gotten before, I just updated. So the wholesale cost of the plaques has now moved to $195 per plaque. It was before $120, and at one point, if you ordered a certain quantity, it was $112. So it has really jumped since we put the plaques up. So this will put up the cost of the nonprofit plaques. So if you can see on, the second page, I said, will the Historic Preservation Commission cover the cost for the nonprofit plaques? And before it was $1,584. We have 5 that have responded, which would be a total of $1,725. So our amount has changed by a few $100s. So I don't know if we need a motion to say, yes, we're going to cover that, or I wasn't here the last meeting, I don't even know if there was a motion made regarding that.
No,
I don't think there was.
You tabled it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We knew you had the stuff.
Right, so I had to get the update, and they took forever to get back to us on what the current cost of the plaques is.
Absolutely.
Once we approve this, then Steve and I would be rolling out the plaque program to Watson Street as a whole, to all the buildings in the historic district. And we'll be informing the chamber and the Main Street and that type of thing. But this is the first thing, is that we have 5 responses for 5 plaques at $1,725. So I would, go ahead.
This is through Pinterest or whatever they're.
What do you mean through?
Flag,
The-
flag company.
Yeah, it's what we used for the Boy Scout plaques, which I have a picture
What's the
of.
name of them?
I don't know what the name of them are, but they're waterproof and da-da-da-da-da. They're what's up currently right now, so they would match with that. And then once we get them all, the layout, we'd all have to approve the layout. I had it in here, what the signs look like. We could walk across the street and look at one.
So how many plaques are we going to get now if we do it?
5
5.
plaques.
And are the 5
Oh, okay.
St. Peter's, First Congregational Church, American
Legion,
Legion?
Hillside Cemetery,
Okay.
and the
Oh,
Pedrick
Pedrick,
Lawson
sure,
House,
sorry.
right,
Okay.
which are nonprofits that don't have the money to cover it.
Yeah.
These would be plaques with a QR code and a video,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Correct.
So, I mean, that's why the cost has come up. Because we have to pay $150 to the video company and $195 per plaque.
Oh, okay.
Then we would take it, so these aren't the only plaques, we take it down Watson Street for anybody that wants to purchase one themselves. But the first half of this is putting the plaques on the nonprofits. So I've been fiddling around with those plaque things, so where the heck did I put them? But they're currently up right now. There's one in front of the library, there's, they're just like, but we would have a different layout with the city logo, the Historical Society logo, because they would be through, here we go. They look like this. So if you wanna, that's the current plaques that are done, but it would have the same kind of layout except for the city logo, and underneath maybe the city logo, we can talk about if we wanna say Historic Preservation Commission.
How large are these signs?
They're like this big.
Okay, so
There's-
a little bigger than,
Oh, yeah,
They're almost like
they're,
this.
Yeah.
yeah.
they're bigger than that, and then the one that's at the library is actually on a metal pole.
Okay,
There you go.
like on a metal,
Like
nothing
we have out here?
wood.
By the city?
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
it's
that,
like
yeah.
that, similar to that, the one that's currently at the library. And that QR code is being updated by Skip because it's now the home of Main Street and
Oh,
the
the switch,
Chamber.
yes.
And so
Right.
that, the QR, the video has to be updated
Yeah.
because it said it was the office of the president.
Right.
So what happens is there's QR codes on here. You can shoot this with your phone. We could shoot this right now and watch the video on this building. So if you want to see a video, I can, let's see. Should be-
Oh, if somebody on Watson Street just wanted the plaque, but they didn't want the
Oops,
video,
that's not what I
and make
wanted.
it cheaper for them, is that a possibility?
Yes, that's something totally different than, that's the second half that we're gonna talk about.
And by ordering more, we don't get the discount?
No, not anymore. It was before, if you ordered 6 or more, there was a significant, ah. Okay, so this is one of the videos. I can only get this bigger on my phone now. Come on, baby. It's all black. Here we go, come on. Come on. Oh, there, I heard it, didn't you? Come on.
Ripon's Public Square starts on the north end of the Watson Street Commercial Historic District, which is listed on the State and National Register of Historic Places. The square has been a gathering place since the founding
Is that
of Ripon.
Olson?
Yeah.
Its size and scale for the initial
I
community.
can't get it
gave
bigger.
Ripon
Who's
the
that?
name
That's
Big
Jay,
Square
it's,
Town.
Aaron.
At that time,
Oh, yeah.
Cattle, horses, mules, goats, sheep,
Yeah, I
and
saw
even
that a
pigs
while
could
ago.
run
It's
or be
good.
driven throughout Ripon's city streets. It wasn't until August of 1858 that an early city ordinance stated that animals could only be out on the streets between 4 a.m. and 8 p.m. Then in
Clean
June
it
out at night.
1873, animals were prohibited from running at large on streets or throughout the public square with or without a
Now we're
driver,
fighting chickens,
clerk,
yeah.
Yeah, no,
So that's just the square, and in fact, I want to change that one. But if, let's just do this one. You watch one for a building. Come on, babes. So these are housed on the Ripon Historical Society website, so you can get it up on our website also, but
Okay.
we had a couple ladies in town, and one has, she's seeing impaired, and she was so excited that these were talking, so she could listen to them. Come on, baby. Yeah, there it goes.
You have to talk to it.
yeah, it's,
It's human?
This building was built in 1872 to house A.W. Pettibone's dry goods store and later a department store. In 1935, Ben Marcus converted the building into the first of what would become a chain of over 700 movie theaters. A complete remodeling of the first ever theater building was required, including the removal of the ceiling as well as the back section of the second floor apartments. The campus theater, so named because of its proximity to Ripon College, opened for business on November 1st, 1935, with the Jack Benny film, It's in the Air. Famous movie stars who attended Ripon College and whose films were also shown here include Spencer Tracy from the golden era of Hollywood and Harrison Ford of Indiana Jones and Star Wars fame.
So this is what you get when, with the QR code. So they're charging us $150 to record it, and so.
Okay.
So basically what's gonna happen is Steve and I are gonna write this information. It would be approved by this commission for the nonprofit plaques and by them, okay? And then our archivist, who's Carol Socken, would read things for historical accuracy, because sometimes we screw up. And so it's good to have the
Happens.
archivist
Yep.
review each thing. So for the nonprofit plaques, which would be Hillside Cemetery and the churches and the American Legion Hall, the plaque would look like this with a QR code with a video. So that's what we're saying would cost $17.25
Okay.
for 5 plaques.
So if individuals want to do that, they can get it without the QR code?
Yes, then we go to the
Okay.
second point after the nonprofit, if you just want to talk about it. The for-profit plaque cost has now gone up because these plaques are now $195
Okay.
for the plaque itself, $150 for the video, and then the Historical Society is adding $150 on. That would be tax deductible because it takes us time and effort to put this all together. So basically, the plaques per private place, if they want a QR code, would be $495. If they don't want a QR code, it would be $345 per plaque. So if you look on this here, I'm asking is, does the Historic Preservation Commission want to use some of our funds to offer a grant for each person that orders a sign? That's a second part of this. So the first part, we'd have to approve the 1,700 for-profit, which would be a separate motion. And then what's on the line is, does the commission want to offer a grant to the for-profit entities? So that would be like Patina V's already said they want one. Back Porch Gatherings wants one. Back Porch Gatherings, by the way, their history's in the paper this week, so when you get to the Commonwealth, you can read about the history of the building they're in. I know Fox and Crow has expressed an interest in putting up a plaque, but they have the option of doing a QR code or just a plaque. So I don't know if the commission wants to offer a grant for those for-profit things, so it makes it cheaper for them. So say if we offered each one a $100 grant, it would make it $395 for a QR code instead of $495. So I mean, I just am throwing that out here, we don't have to do it, but Adam has said we can do it, and I don't know, Adam, if you have a thought process on that at all.
You know, obviously, once you do it without the code, you can't go later and you have to get another one with the QR code. It's not like a stamp, you can do one if you decided, oh, I decided I wanted one.
Yeah, we might be able to put one on, a little sticker. That's what we're gonna do. We're putting up a new marker in Soresco Park, and we're not putting the QR code on the sign, on the physical sign, because it takes away too much writing space. We're gonna actually put it on the,
Okay, so it could be done.
probably
Probably.
later.
No.
Wouldn't look as nice as having it on the actual.
And with a
Yeah.
whole bunch of other.
Right.
Okay.
And I literally don't care if they have a QR code or not. I mean, it would be nicer if some like Patina V did, because it's an interesting building. But it takes a lot more work for us to come up with a copy and the additional pictures and that kind of stuff and get it to, Skip to do the work.
Are we gonna do one for the Little White Schoolhouse?
No, because they already have a marker. They have a state marker.
Oh, well, I know they have a state one, but.
Yeah, they're gonna have a
When they're
welcome
closed.
center with a state marker, and they've got, everything that's down there now is being moved. So I don't think we need, why should we put a $500 plaque up if they have a $8,000 state marker down there?
And there will be the learning center to the
The welcome
side, so
center.
they'll be able to go in and just,
Okay.
see
And if they wanna
real
put a,
footage of it.
if they wanna put a QR code on their marker, like we're gonna do in Soresco, for.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'll just add, I think, this is your way to kind of do like, how you have signage grants or facade improvement type grants in downtown. This is like a very appropriate program. As long as it's consistent and fair and everybody's kind of treated the same and is offered the same opportunity. From just my 2 cents beyond, where this really becomes a win is, like the Chamber of Commerce, for example, is putting out an app, right? They're creating an app. Well, if you can link this to their app and have a tour map, and you have videos with QR codes, the videos are what really make this pop, really. I mean, and somebody can take an experience in downtown and now extend it beyond just a come and shop or stop at a couple, places, you can take your time downtown and have a map and go to each sign and learn about the history of downtown, stopping at each location, going in each store, and provide another, almost scavenger hunt type activity to learn about Ripon for people visiting and locally. So I think there's a lot of cross-promotion and things that can occur, but the video part of it, certainly what you just played, if you have those high-quality videos at each spot, it just elevates it to a level. So I think you want to encourage that. And
How much more was it to add the video?
The videos are 150, that's why with the plaques, that would be $495. If we offered a $100 grant for everyone that was gonna have maybe a QR code, and only a
Right.
$50 grant for the ones that don't have QR code,
Right.
at least it would bring the cost down, or incentivize
more of an incentive.
people. Right. I think that I can't see Sarah Willett turning down, what would it be? It would be
Yeah.
$395 for a plaque.
Right. I
If we give
think
a
everyone
$100
down there's
grant with
gonna
it.
do it.
Is there we're not gonna get in trouble when all of a sudden 1,000 people want it and we run out of money.
Well, if we have 10.
I'm just saying out
let's-
of the
let's-
box.
How many buildings literally on the main street are gonna want a QR code on their thing? If it's 10, that's $1,000. We have
Yeah.
have the money in our budget.
Just a question, just to make sure.
But maybe
Yeah.
we should limit it to 10 a year?
That was another thing I thought, do we have to do it all at one time, or?
No, they can put up
I
one
mean, I
of these
hate to
plaques
hold
at any
somebody
time.
back if they really want it, but.
Right. Well, you could make it where it's 10, and then next year, we'll do it this, and next year, if it's going good, do it again. Or even
Okay,
do 20
so
this year.
We have a
If we
lot
did
of,
20.
no, we have a lot of
As long as
money.
we're not limited.
Yeah, 'cause we got the money.
We've got the money.
Say we
We
ran
got the
out.
money, and it's,
We might be putting our foot in our mouth.
this is what we need to be doing with it.
Right.
Well, as long as they don't raise the price.
I do it. I just thought,
Yeah.
so.
Let's put it this way.
Do I
If
have
we
to leave the
spend
room?
1,000.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
If-
sorry, but
that's okay.
I'm gonna recuse myself because I'm gonna apply,
That's okay.
so
You
I
can
can't,
just
I'm
add
done
it
with the
on.
discussion, so.
We're not talking to you anyway, you just
Fine.
sit there and be quiet.
guys.
So, let's add this up. If we spend $1,725 for the nonprofit signs, which we will fund 5 of those.
Yep,
Yeah.
We spend $2,000, which would be 20 $100 grants.
yep,
That's 2,000.
yep.
If we fund 20 $50 grants, is that 1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is, what, $4,725, and we have $8,617
We're still
in the bank.
safe.
I think that there's no way we're gonna get 20 plaques with QR codes.
Right.
I don't even think we need to limit it.
Okay. It was just something that, make sure we
I
didn't.
mean,
I think what you can
I would
do is
limit it just for the safety
you
aspect
can
of
put
it.
people on a wait list. You can see what the
Response
anticipated
is.
Right.
response is, and because you're creating a bunch of work for other people, right? So if
Right.
you all of a sudden have 20 people come in wanting it, you're not going to be able to do it all right away
No,
anyway. You're
no.
going to prioritize it.
Well, if
right,
we do 20 and then 20 do it, and we can say, we can always bring it back to the body and say, hey, let's do 10 more.
okay, this has cost us how much, and now it's,
Right.
right, do we wanna approve more money or not?
Yep.
So I mean, we could make, first of all, we'd need a motion to approve the 1725, and then we'd have to make a motion to approve 50 and $100 grants, but we could say like 20 $100 grants to start and 20 $50 grants, which that's 40 buildings.
I'd really like
I
to
don't think-
encourage
You're-
just doing the QR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do the whole package and like,
You either,
Yeah, you get
can
the-
save $100 this way, or you can just buy the plaque on your own. And that way, we want to encourage,
Or do we
The
wanna
video.
say, we're gonna pay for the video for $150 and give only $150 grants towards the videos and no other grants out? I'm being devil's advocate and throwing out an idea.
yeah,
We
I mean,
could do lots of, I'm gonna come back to you,
if we
Adam,
get,
because
if
I'm
we
playing
get
devil's
20 though,
advocate.
we're
Well, it's just another option.
getting up there.
It's good to
Right.
have more options.
yeah. I'm thinking like we probably wanted to just encourage people to get the total package and also just get the plaques to begin with. So probably just doing the $100 grant and kind of getting
So only doing it for the one with the QR code, what about the
Yes.
ones without the QR
I
code?
think they're on their own.
Yep. they're
So
on their own.
basically, they'd be spending $345, but if you got the QR code, it would only be a few dollars more at $395.
Yes,
Right.
There you
That is-
go.
Yes.
That's your
All right.
incentive.
That works.
first motion, I want to make a motion. That we buy the 5 plaques for $1,725 for the nonprofits.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, Matt, second. Are you recluding?
I can do
Okay,
that
you
He's
one.
got this one, he's
Yeah.
got this one.
So motion by Dave, second by Matt, to approve the 5 nonprofit building plaques for a cost of $1,725. You know, it might change a little. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So I'm out on this one, Pat.
Yeah, I guess I actually kind of have to be too. I have a building in this historic district.
All right. Second motion. All
I was gonna get it, but go get it.
right, you want it?
No.
All right, I want to make a motion that the Historic Preservation Committee pays $100 per plaque.
Grant, gives a grant.
If they do the QR code, up to 20 for this year.
I'll second the motion. You could say all in favor, can't you?
I did.
Okay, all in favor?
That's fine.
Aye.
$100.
Okay.
But it's good.
So now,
We need to hear 2 abstains.
yeah. Now, oh,
Okay, I can abstain.
now what happens is I actually have a letter made up.
Yeah.
It's like, sort of like a, it would be a preliminary letter, which I will send to Adam and to everybody on this commission to see if this is how we want to state this.
Okay.
Okay, then from there, we would take, the Historical Society, we'll meet with both Mandy and Craig T-Bond to inform them of the program and see if the chamber or Main Street wants to offer a grant on top of that, or
And
just
they
if they
could,
want
and
to
they
be.
could do that. and-
Right, right.
And finish paying off for the QR
Or
code.
maybe they want to give a $50 grant per plaque, I don't know.
Yep.
So we want to present this to them so they can't say they weren't informed.
Yep,
And so we will present it to them, get their input, and then from there, we'll just mail the letter out. We'll ask
Okay.
Mandy for all the, or I'm sure we have them here, we'd send them to all of the district buildings, you know, owners, and to chamber members, because maybe somebody doesn't own the building, but they want a sign, and if they can have their landlord sign off on that it's okay to put the sign on their building, we could do that.
That's what I was gonna have.
Yeah.
They can't.
yep,
we'll have
sounds
to.
good.
Right, so the building owner would have to sign off on it too.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we can just make this fly then. So Steve and I, Steve Arbaugh from the Historical Society, myself will meet with Mandy and Craig T-Bond. We'll let you know when that meeting is in case anybody from this commission wants to attend.
Okay.
And then we'll have to, this is, obviously, we don't want a Boy Scout logo on here, so ignore that. But we'll have to come up with some kind of layout that includes the Historical Society logo and the city logo on the sign, because it's a dual project. It's, I always say the Historical Society is too small to do some of these projects on their own, and we need to partner with other entities to accomplish this.
Okay, is
Well-
the chamber and the Main Street will want their advertising on it too?
Well,
If they're giving out
a
grants?
grant,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm wondering.
yeah, so we have to just we'll bring it back at the next meeting,
Right,
and then we'll also bring it to the Historical Society Board
Right.
meeting, and then we can fly.
And they'll look like a NASCAR on there.
Yeah, no, but, I mean, it could be that those will run across the bottom.
Yeah, the board here almost already.
I do want you to know that
Because we all advertise it.
the city of Sheboygan got a grant from AARP to pay for their signs. So I did track that down. I talked to Sheboygan, I went to AARP, I figured everything out. Steve and I talked about it. The grant was coming up in 2 weeks, and you have to do an app with it, and the app costs money. It's called I forgot what the app is called. So we're like, oh my God, there's no way we can figure out this app, get a cost, and get a grant into AARP. So depending upon how fast we do this, maybe next year it's an additional grant proposal from AARP to cover more plaques if we need to expand this. If we want to put a plaque at each of the, say this program just goes gangbusters and it's been very successful, we could put plaques on stanchions at things like the historic districts, the home historic districts and that type of thing. So we could actually put more plaques around town if we wanted to, if we can get this app thing worked out and maybe apply to AARP for that, because Sheboygan did get grants for this. And it says on their sign from AARP, and I'm like, what the heck, AARP? It has to benefit senior citizen, I mean, can't even imagine the grant was like, and Steve and I just couldn't get it done in like 2 weeks. But we did look at it. And I should show you what their plaque looks like if you're wondering what their plaque looks like. It's a blue.
Will there be any news media for any of this?
Oh, God, yes, we'll write up press releases and then we'll send them through Adam at the city to make sure that's how it should be phrased. And
Those are
Steve
nice.
and I are marketers from way back, but,
Oh, that's the new one.
well, you know, because it shouldn't be the Historical Society
Yeah,
releasing it, it
okay.
should be a dual release, so.
All good.
I don't want to take responsibility for what the city says, so, but we would email those to all the board members. Steve and I are marketers from way back, we write press
1934.
releases
I
all
laugh
the
at
time.
1934.
And you can see on the bottom, it says AARP on it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from it, I mean, it's a nice sign.
Yeah, it's very, yeah, so I did talk to them and got all the information, but I was
Network
like,
Health, maybe they want to.
it was something,
Conservation.
Thank you.
this app that AARP wanted, it had something to do with like a walking tour, where you pull the app on your phone and then you could walk, and that would be not only historical for senior citizens, but also it's healthy, right? So we're like, oh, okay. So I did look at that and I thought, oh my God, don't even go there, this is enough work. Okay, so I'll come back at the next meeting with more concrete everything. And if anybody wants to see these and try their phone on them themselves, the only thing you need to do is go to your, I don't know, if you have a cell phone, you just go to where you take a photo, you hold it over the QR code, a little yellow thing will pop up, you touch the yellow thing and it brings you right to the video. So it's not difficult for people to access into those videos. And currently they're housed on the Historical Society website, but if the Chamber or Main Street or anybody wants to, those are shareable, it's not a big deal.
Okay, well, thank you,
Okay, so,
Pat.
yeah.
That's a lot of work.
I'm just sorry that $195 has come up, but
So is they,
Inflation.
Yeah.
yes, because, and supply chain, and they gave Steve all these crazy reasons, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, just tell me what it is.
Hey, my rent just went up $140.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the ones that we got for the Boy Scouts were 112,
thanks.
and now it's 195.
Did you get the old
Stuff
fixtures?
I
Okay,
wish.
the next one.
I get the benefit of a leaky patio every time it rains.
We're on
Probably have
the
something growing under. my
Preservation
carpet.
Award, Preservationist of the Year, that's the plaque. Picked it up the other day. And we will set a meeting at one of our
Nice.
council meetings that the mayor has to present that, so.
When do you wanna do that?
Well, we'll find out from Dave and Debbie
When they can attend.
when they can attend. Next meeting would be next Tuesday, correct?
The 11th
So
I'm sure they'll be able to.
I'll call,
Oh, here you go.
I'll call them, unless you wanna call them tomorrow. I don't have his number,
I
but.
do, yeah. I got
Oh,
it.
that's very nice.
So
Yes.
essentially, then you just gotta meet with them and or figure out when they can meet with you to accept
Yes,
that?
and then we
Okay.
present it at a council meeting.
So somebody needs to take pictures for PR?
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually,
Usually a
Tim might
there's
do it,
usually
but-
somebody there.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
newspaper.
there's usually
Newspaper has
somebody.
always done it for
Okay,
us.
right.
We'll make sure.
So if
Just call and
not,
make sure.
if I can write up a press release if they're not there or whatever, if
Yeah,
somebody gets a
that's, 'cause
picture.
they should, they always have.
Because it should say, there should be some PR from the Preservation Commission, and I think it's really nice.
There'll be two people there,
Yeah.
me and Dave.
Yeah, but I
Well,
think it's,
everybody should come to it if you can.
If you can,
Yeah.
yeah.
email
Just for
everybody
the
to see
presentation
the
anyway.
correct date, because I'm not coming if
During
they're
the
not
week, we
coming,
can
let's
force
just
them
do
to
it.
hold
But I
hours
think
for the
this is
next
really
one.
nice right after they're fired
Then I
too.
guess you're,
Yeah.
They have
Nine
you
to
there
nine.
Thursday.
Were ya? So
Yeah.
it looks good to me.
Before Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, local designations are next, and I finally printed off what is in Sue Leahy's office. And that was in 2007, it was approved, and those are the ones that are locally designated.
Oh, so First Congo is
Mhm.
designated, okay.
So we do have buildings that are locally designated besides the Watson Street district.
So some of these are already on the National Register anyway, in the historic district that's recognized.
And if I remember right, is the Merriman House on that one?
Yep. Yeah, it's on
that's
there.
raised.
So,
They've
yeah,
raised,
and that was, yeah, it's water over the dam.
well, they
But
had.
that will come
Yeah.
off. yeah.
Or in the basement too.
Are all these on the National Historic District too?
I don't think
I
all of
don't
them
know if
are.
they all are.
John Scott
Okay.
Corner House is, I can tell you if I look at the list
I
again.
think the American Legion is.
American Legion's on the
American
National
Legion.
Register, the library
Stein.
is, the
Mhm.
Pedrick
Sure.
Lawson House
Okay.
is individually listed.
I don't know about the church.
I think
The church is
Or the two
individual.
churches
yeah.
are-
The
Congregational.
First
Congregational
Congregational
is.
is individual listed, but St. Peter's, I don't think is.
Okay.
I've got the list in here, why the hell do I look through my list?
Yeah, you can,
Yeah,
I have the list.
Yeah,
Who's on the list?
yeah.
You're on the bottom.
Adam wants to
Am
live.
I on the list?
These are the buildings in Ripon on the National Register. The Baptist Church, which is the American Legion Hall, Soresco site, which is getting a new state marker, and I reported at the last meeting that marker is back ordered, not through any fault of our own. The John Scott Horner House, that was added in '84. The Little White Schoolhouse is '73. Longfellow School in '97. The Pedrick Lawson House was added in '76. Ripon College Historic District was 1995. Southwest Historic District, St. Peter's Episcopal Church
locally
is on the
designated,
register,
yeah.
so that was
Yeah.
'74, that went on. Watson Street Historic Commercial District, the Jacob Woodruff House, on Liberty Street, which is the Octagon House.
Steinbrinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steinbrinks, and that's it. So we have two residential districts, the College District, Watson Street, Soresco District, which isn't that big, and then individual buildings.
No, mine's on the National Historic Register.
Your house,
Yeah.
what's the address of that?
119 Tiger.
Oh, that's because you're in the
You're in the
district.
district.
You're in the district, right. But that's not an individual, some places like the Octagon House is an individual listing.
Yeah.
It stands
Little brass-
alone.
Brass
Okay.
plaque on them.
Yeah, that stands alone. I mean, so really if this plaque program goes well, if we could get an AARP grant, we could plaque all those other things and do a
Mhm.
walking tour.
Mhm.
But I was just too soon for it, we couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's
It
fine.
was just, yeah. So, yeah, you can, this is printed offline, by the way, I just printed it off. I just Googled National Historic Register buildings in Fond du Lac, and this lists entire Fond du Lac County.
Good.
So, I just highlighted Ripons. And most of this was because of Professor Miller.
George Miller,
Yeah,
yeah.
he spearheaded most of it. That's at least what I'm finding.
So you have that like light bluish colored looking house with the cool little cupola thing going. Oh, that's so cool. Gosh, both of you have really cool houses. And they're right by each other too.
Mine was there first.
Yeah.
That's just the competition.
No
So-
pool. You should have a pool.
Can I have a copy of this?
Yes.
I should, it's gone.
Sure.
I'm glad it's
Stick
gone.
it in here. I I'll stick it back.
When the
Actually,
professor there was there, yeah.
Do you wanna update that?
I found a few
list?
articles on that house.
We should
I
update
thought-
it.
I don't know if it's from like the 60s or
Oh.
70s, like the
I don't
family
know
that
the
was
address,
living there.
but
He was talking
the
about some
Ceresco's
remodeling they
first
were doing or something.
Post
about
office
it,
is
but
locally
I'll see if I can
designated
find
also
it.
on
and
the
give
Yeah,
it
I'd
back
like
to
to-
you.
I'd like
That
to
was
see
never
that.
the first post office.
Yeah.
Well, what they,
think it was
They
that
think
one.
it was,
They
but it
say.
never was.
They haven't done anything
Carol and I
bad
did
to it.
research on that one.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
What
So
is
it's-
in
We
Ceresco?
redid it, we gutted the kitchen.
Is the building there?
Because it was from the 30s.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't quite,
The, that,
it was not
the
done
man
well.
that was the
So,
first
yeah,
postmaster
it
of
was pretty bad.
Ceresco ran the post office, I think, out of his store. And they say because he did own that building, but he bought that building after he moved out of Ripon. I'd have to go back and
Oh, wow.
research that, but
Okay.
Carol and I
I've
looked into
been lying
that.
all these years.
And Carol said, no, that wasn't the first post office. So there's a woman, I just wrote about her for Now and Then in Ripon, let me think of her name. Was the first woman accepted to the Phalanx. And she was
Yeah.
divorced, and she had two little boys. So she decided to move here to Ripon with her two little boys, and she took over the food service for Ceresco. She was a divorced woman, and she provided the pillow sack to the guy that used to walk to Fond du Lac to get the mail. And it was carried back and forth on the Indian trails in a pillow sack. And so that's originally how the mail started.
He walked, he didn't have a horse?
No, he walked, and I guess sometimes.
I always
he get
wondered about
lost.
that.
Yeah, he walked to Fond du Lac and back with a pillowcase full of mail. Yeah,
No airmail.
yeah.
Yeah.
This lady provided the pillowcase, and I mean, it's documented left and right that that's what happened, so Carol and I are like, it happened.
That's funny.
Yeah,
So really, the post office in the Longfellow house.
well, yeah, until somebody opened a store and then it moved to this guy's store and I'd have to redo that. And then he left, somebody else became the postmaster, but he bought that little brick house, but it was never used as the post office, and that's from Carol Socken, so
Okay.
she
Yeah,
would
well,
know
that,
Huh.
if anybody
things,
did.
yep.
So when I go to heaven, that's a lie that I can kind of
Yeah.
change?
Well, you know, it's funny, once you
I've been
start
telling
doing
it.
research and you start digging things up,
True.
you can prove that the first postmaster had already left town, but then he bought that building after he left town. Well, that's why people think that it was the post office, because he did own the building
Yeah,
later.
the name with the building, yeah.
Yeah, and it's,
And it kind of looks post officey.
and then if you
It
want
does.
more
Well,
post
it's
office
Ceresco
stories,
brick and, yeah.
Ceresco disbanded, Ripon started, but the post office was still called Ceresco. And Ripon had a complete fit that all their
Oh,
their
had to
mail
go to-
was coming to
Going
Ceresco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Can't
that's
Okay.
neither here, that's neither here nor there.
Mail, but-
Next meeting date, and if there's any new items for the agenda. But I don't, I have to get my phone out for the date.
I will let you guys know, but I am going on mandatory 12 hours for potentially a month, so I might miss the next one because it'll be 9 to 9, so.
I'll take minutes
But
for you.
I'll send out an email if I can't make it.
Oh, wow. Right.
So,
Oh. What is our date? I may be gone.
I'm trying to get it.
It would be May the 3rd.
Yeah. I don't think I'll leave till the 5th, I'll let you know though.
That's a Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, Dave.
Wednesday.
6:30.
Wednesday.
6:30, Joe. If you can.
Hey, my dumb thing today, I was actually gonna be here right on time, but I don't know why, I spaced out. I turned down this street. My grandparents live right there, so I don't know if I thought I was going to my grandma's house. So then I turned up that side street and I had to wait for traffic to go by, and I was like, ah, damn.
Well, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Motion by Pat, second by Dave.
Okay, so the next thing
adjourn.
is I'm still looking for a house to buy, and I now have money, so if anybody hears of them, let me know.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Great,
Figure it out.
great, great, great.
Sweet food.